Are we going to keep staring at each other, or are you going to invite me in?
But, someone sent you. What's their name?
May I come in, Mr. McPherson? What I have to say will appeal to the detective in you.
I mean, I no longer do detective work. But do come in if you want to.
Sorry, I didn't introduce myself. Blake. Sophia Blake. Mr. McPherson, I need you to investigate a case that is dear to my heart. Just name your price.
I haven't investigated in a long time, miss.
I really need your investigative skills. I will pay all your expenses.
You mentioned an interesting offer. What exactly was it?
Mr. McPherson, you've been in Paris for some time and I need your help. Only you can investigate this case. I'm ready to pay anything.
I don't want to seem overly interested, but why don't we settle my fees before we go any further?
This case may take you several days. I'll give you 500 straight away and 500 per day of successful investigation.
Your offer is very reasonable. I accept.
I owe you a lot, Mr. McPherson. Much more than the money I'm paying you.
Could you give me any more details about the case? At the moment, it all seems rather nebulous.
You probably haven't heard about the Orphée case, Mr. McPherson. The newspapers have kept it quiet. A couple of American tourists were brutally murdered. They were my sister and her husband. I want to know the circumstances surrounding their death.
These murders were committed in Paris. Do you know whereabouts in Paris?
A hotel in a chic part of Paris in the 8th district. The Hôtel Orphée. They arrived there about a week ago. They were found dead in their hotel bedroom.
Are the police handling the case? If they are, it may well complicate things. Do you know the name of the inspector in charge of the investigation?
The detective in charge of the investigation is named Lebrun. You know, the police are the same in every country, Mr. McPherson. Whether you're in New York or in Paris, you mustn't be in a hurry. Lebrun is no exception.
To be honest, I'm not sure I should take the case. Firstly, because where there's a murder, there's a murderer. Inspector Lebrun is in a better position to arrest murderers than I am.
Mr. McPherson, I have no faith in the police. The 8th District Police Station, Lebrun especially, is trying to hush up the affair. All they care about is keeping their reputation as a chic area.
Your sister and her husband, they were both American. What exactly were they doing in Paris?
I was supposed to meet them in Paris. You know, Mr. McPherson, visiting Europe was my sister Ruby's childhood dream. With Mr. White, her wish came true. They were so very much in love.
How did they die? Are you sure they were murdered? It may just have been a terrible accident.
The Whites were found decapitated in their hotel room, Mr. McPherson.
I don't get it. I've never worked for you before, not here nor in New York. Yet you come to me and ask me to find your sister's murderer. Why me, Miss Blake?
Your reputation, Mr. McPherson. I find your nickname spooky to be charming. I have friends who know people at the Pinkerton Agency in New York. The suspicion surrounding you is totally unfounded, naturally. You are the man I need for this investigation. Discreet, capable of seeing beyond appearances.
You'd like me to begin right away. I think I have all the information I need to begin. You're sure you haven't forgotten anything?
The police didn't find any items of value in the room. Yet my sister and her husband traveled very comfortably, in luxury and with old family heirlooms. It was a passion they both shared.
It is risky traveling with large sums of money. It would be a shame if they'd been killed for that reason. How valuable were these family heirlooms?
An old relic of no value. My sister was very fond of it. Of no value whatsoever.
I hope to have results quickly. I'll be in touch with you when I've made some progress in my investigation. Goodbye, Miss Blake.
I ask only one thing of you. Be discreet. The police must not suspect you are involved. If you'd like to meet me...
These suitcases are heavy.
And do not forget, young man, the elevator is still out of order.
Oh, brother.
Good evening, sir. Welcome to the Hotel Orphée. My name is Isidore Petit. What can I do for you?
Good evening. My name is Gus McPherson. I'm a journalist for the Clairon de Paris. Could I ask you a few questions concerning the death of 2 American tourists? Name of White. That's it. White with a Y, not an I.
Sir, you work for a vulgar little rag. Your newspaper is a hodgepodge of lies and innuendos.
You are very harsh on the Clairon. What exactly do you have against it?
I dislike this public undermining of the safety measures implemented by the Hotel Orphée for the protection of its guests.
It's unfortunate that you were upset by the article that appeared in the Clairon. I'm writing another one now that will emphasize the new security arrangements.
We exercise extreme vigilance regarding the proficiency of our staff, as well as the standing of our clients.
How could you possibly prevent a raving lunatic from killing 2 innocent American tourists?
An extra security guard is out of the question. The Hotel Orphée is not a prison. I shall be more vigilant from now on, and more importantly, better assisted.
You seem rather defensive. Maybe there was some kind of security failure? Am I right?
That is enough. You wanted a demonstration of the effectiveness of our security. Well, I am personally responsible for security, and my first act will be to throw you out. Leave, sir. You again. Sir, I have nothing more to say to you.
What can I get you, sir?
Give me a bottle of red.
Sir?
I would like to inquire about a couple of friends.
May I help you? What's the name?
White.
Oh, the Whites. I'm sorry to have to tell you this, but the Whites are dead. They were found murdered in their room. An awful story.
I know that they were killed.
If you already knew, what else do you want?
Clues.
I don't know anything, sir. You should try the police. Maybe you would have more luck with them.
Police. That's right, exactly. The police. I'm helping their inquiries along by keeping one step ahead.
Sir, I'm sure you realize that a waiter is witness to all manners of things in the course of an evening. Fortunately, not all of them are linked to murder.
Who is in charge of this investigation?
Inspector Lebrun. Yes, I saw him. He did not seem to know where to begin the investigation.
Where might I find this Inspector Lebrun?
You'll probably find him behind his desk at the police station in the 8th District.
Did you have any unusual customers that evening?
You must be joking, my friend. Strange customers are all in a day's work for a waiter. That evening was no exception. Like the man who spent the evening alone at a table over there, besides the window. He left empty-handed. Been stood up, I imagine.
Can you tell me any more?
You know I would like to help you, but I think you had better deal directly with the police. A man named Lebrun is leading the inquiry.
What do you have against Inspector Lebrun?
He's a young guy with no experience. He could not even be bothered to write down the description I gave him of the man who was hanging around by the window. Yet, he's probably a suspect.
Could you give me a description of this mysterious character?
You could draw him? That's really neat. I'll give you a description right now. He was tall, very tall, heavy, black mustache, square-faced, and dreadful eyes. Threatening even. A tough guy.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Are you quite sure, Mr. Beauvais, that you have not seen him?
Yes, I'm sure. Go on, Mrs. A01, go home. We will take care of this, I promise.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Beauvais. You're so kind. The next time I'm at Cézanne, I'll bring you back a nice bottle of red wine. That's a promise. Goodbye, then.
Goodbye. A little bottle of red. Come on, next. Can I help you?
You're a policeman. My name is Gus McPherson. I'm an American journalist. I would like to ask you a couple of questions about the Orphée case.
I do not deal with you journalist types.
I understand. It's always intimidating to come up against a journalist. In any case, I'm not supposed to speak to the police either. Shall we make a little exception?
Does your rag have a name?
You know, it's a newspaper in New York, the New York News.
I have a brother-in-law who works at the news. Do you know him? Jules Quincampoix.
I don't know who you're talking about. Are you sure he works at the news? There are dozens of daily newspapers in New York, you know. Maybe it's the Post News or the Early News. Heck, I can hardly tell them apart myself.
Forget it. It is baking in here, isn't it? You would not happen to have anything to drink, would you? Just one for the road. Full of promises and empty-handed, huh?
I do happen to have a little something for you. An amazing bottle of red wine. You cannot say no to that, officer. Don't you feel a little thirsty?
Great. Here is the pen pusher giving it another go.
Am I right in thinking Inspector Lebrun is in charge of the investigation on the White case? Would it be possible to meet with him? That way we can compare our information.
He is not seeing anybody, just make a statement.
I've got some information on the Orphée murders. Exceptional information.
Fresh info? You are better informed than us, are you?
If you have no objection, I would rather talk about this with Inspector Lebrun alone.
If you want to speak to him, you have to confide in me first, Sonny.
When I read the file, I noticed the name of a certain doctor, Frank Kaufner. What can you tell me about him?
Dr. Kaufner is our expert. Forensic scientist and, above all, psychiatrist. The sort of guy who prefers the company of madmen and corpses to the likes of you and me.
You don't seem to be overly fond of Dr. Kaufner. Is there any particular reason for that?
The chief of police himself imposed Dr. Kaufner on us. It's not going to help matters any.
I've read the police report, but I'm sure you can tell me a little more. What are your impressions on the White case?
This case is pretty messy. A foul murder, unclear motive. If Inspector Lebrun needs a hand, he will ask me. For the time being, he is managing on his own like a big boy. That is all I know.
Of course, if Inspector Lebrun is surrounded by guardian angels like you, he can't be making much headway with his investigations.
If he's not making headway in his investigation, it's his own fault. Lebrun is bending over backwards trying to find the mysterious visitor the Whites had that evening, just before the murder. He's not even cross-checking the statements.
I give up. Could you at least give him my name? McPherson, Gus McPherson, and tell him I need to see him as soon as possible.
You are wasting your time, Mr. McPherson. Lebrun specifically told me no visitors. Between me and you, he is already pretty busy sorting out all these statements. If we could have a picture of the suspect, our life would be easier.
Goodbye.
Yeah, right. Goodbye.
Dr. Kaufner's office, please.
It's over there, right at the end of the hall. Make sure you don't get lost.
Come in.
Dr. Frank Kaufner?
What can I do for you, sir?
I'm Gustav McPherson. I've come here to ask you a few questions about the White case.
Tell me what you want to hear. So you are investigating the incident at the Hotel Orphée?
Yes, Doctor. Your professional opinion on the murders.
Did Inspector Lebrun send you, Mr. McPherson?
Yes, more or less. I'm here on behalf of Inspector Lebrun.
You are investigating out of personal interest? What, Mr. Macpherson, is your interest in this case?
A friend of the family was worried, and I'm trying to clarify the situation.
A friend? Are you quite sure? The Whites had no friends in Paris. At least, not as far as I know.
Appearances can sometimes be deceptive, Dr. Kaufner. That's why I would like to clarify this situation by gathering as much information as possible.
I am at your disposal, Mr. Macpherson. How can I help you?
What can you tell me about the scene of the crime? The police have released very few details.
The man who committed this murder, and I stress the fact that he is a man, is probably quite overwhelmed at the present time. This crime was committed under the influence of a sudden impulse, without premeditation. His act is now haunting him. He is not himself.
Is this the evidence found at the scene of the murder that will enable you to draw your conclusions?
Sequential repetition of habits. The cure for hysterical behavior is by elimination of the source of anguish. I am just a psychoanalyst, Mr. Macpherson. It is the job of the police to draw conclusions, not mine.
What do you make of the coin found in the victims' mouths?
Do you know, Mr. Macpherson, that in antiquity, superstition had it that we should pay Charon, the boatman of Hades, by placing a coin in the mouth of the dead. These ancient myths are buried deep in our unconscious and resurface when we are overcome by hysteria. Fascinating, isn't it? All that is symbolic, Mr. Macpherson. The murderer himself probably doesn't even know. Like all symbols, it is up to us to interpret them.
You are implying that the murderer is a victim too, Dr. Kaufner.
We are all victims of the secrets of our soul, Mr. Macpherson. This criminal is no exception. We are all victims of our past. And do you have a suspect, Mr. Macpherson?
I'm on the same trail as the police, only I am surer of my hunch.
It has been a most pleasant conversation, but unfortunately, I cannot afford you more time, Mr. Macpherson. I hope I have satisfied your curiosity. I am very busy, sir. You should speak to Inspector Lebrun for more detailed information.
You again! Sir, I have nothing more to say to you.
Sir?
The police have a suspect. I saw the inspector's report. What do you know about the man who spent the entire evening by the window?
That is certainly true. He was here on the night of the murder.
And he stayed there alone for the whole evening.
Now let me think. I saw him chatting for a while with Mallet.
Until what time did the man stay?
Now let's see if I can remember. He arrived at around 8 p.m., took a seat by the window, and dashed off just before the storm broke, at around 11 p.m.
Did you see what direction he went when he left?
I don't know. You cannot see outside from in here. You'd better check at the Orphée. Petit, the receptionist, would probably know. He was on duty that night.
Who is this Mallet?
Théo Mallet works at the Orphée. He's a lout.
Why is he a lowlife?
He likes to bet, and when you do, you have to pay your gambling debts. It's a vicious circle. Mallet is a bona fide con man.
Did you notice whether Mallet gave any money to this man?
No. It's the man who gave the money to Mallet. I remember, it was cash.
Did you see this man with the whites?
I have never seen the whites, under any circumstances. There's no way I would have noticed them with that man.
So these two men may have no connection to the whites' murder.
Sorry, but this is your investigation, not mine. I can only tell you the facts, nothing more.
And do you know where I might find this Mallet?
Mallet hangs out at the Alambic, a bistro in the 14th district. That is where he gambles away his wages.
Can you identify this man?
Yes, maybe. Yes, that's him.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Ah, it is you again.
Thanks to you, I've been able to draw up a portrait of a potential suspect. It's not perfect, but I think that with this, we are onto something. Now all we have to do is show it to the police.
That crafty devil with the mustache. Then he is the culprit.
Just 1 minute, Mr. Petit. I never said this man was guilty. I don't even know his name.
With those killer's eyes, there can be no mistake. Good. Well, if it's all right with you, I have a lot of work to do. Goodbye, sir. You again! Sir, I have nothing more to say to you.
That's a rather large suitcase. Big enough to slip into. That's a rather large suitcase. Big enough to slip into. I'm sure the front desk clerk will not like to see me going upstairs alone. Must find a ruse or persuade him to come up with me. And me who found the studio tiny. Hoping that his break did not...
Here we go again.
And make sure you do not drop it, young man.
Don't worry about it, Mr. Petit.
Oh,
This is really heavy. Talk about starting a new job on the wrong foot. Ow! Ow! Just one more step. And there we go. Whew.
It's a good thing I didn't have the Atlantic to cross. That's not the room I'm interested in. Anyway, the door's locked. Of course the door is locked. The front desk clerk is hardly likely to open it for me. I must find a way to get in. Mrs. Loiseau?
Ah, it's the detective. Welcome to my home, Inquisitor. You are the detective, are you not?
Who told you I was a detective, madam?
I am a seer. I simply see things others do not.
A clairvoyant? Really? What luck. So am I.
I can feel the suffering radiating from you.
Have you been the victim of visions, madam? Rather like me? Visions of murder? The White's murder.
Young man, your instinct spoke to you. You are an artist, are you not?
I'm also an artist. Perhaps you'd like to buy one of my paintings.
Take this. They say Napoleon brought it back from his Egyptian campaign. It represents thought, the Egyptian god of arcane knowledge. The ibis of the Nile. It will help you on your quest. I shall be there to help you find the right path.
I will remember what you said. Who knows? One day I may even need your clairvoyance.
And should you have need of guidance, do not hesitate. Come back and see me. You are the detective, are you not?
Did you come into contact with the Whites? Well, while they were alive, of course. If you saw them after that, it's your business.
I was only their next-door neighbor.
Despite the fact that you have a reputation of being rather eccentric, did you still get on well with the Whites?
I have never had any ties whatsoever with the Whites, young man. They were appalling people. And what is more, they were cursed by evil.
This evil, could you describe it, or is it too abstract to be nailed down?
Ancient, dark, hypnotic eyes, authoritarian. I can see a color, like a ruby, like blood.
And this force of evil is what caused their death.
Your eyes have met his. He knows you exist. His anger has not been lessened by the White's death.
Please, be more specific in your ramblings. Describe this evil to me. Tell me what it is like.
Be on your guard. Evil is temptation. It is man's primal sin.
Mrs. Loiseau, I cannot arrest a culprit based on your ravings about evil. Please be more specific.
My words cannot be understood, Mr. McPherson. They can only be felt. Come back later. I need to rest.
is you again.
How is Mrs. Loiseau involved in this case? I really don't understand. Is she a witness? Is she a suspect? Can she be trusted?
Madame Loiseau may be a little eccentric, but she is our best client. She has been living in the Hotel Orphée for many years now.
Mrs. Loiseau would not be a bit, how shall I put it, nutty? Not many people would dare claim that they can sense evil. In any case, I certainly would not.
Nonsense and superstition. Any evil presence here is definitely human. People can be gruesome. Good. Well, if it's all right with you, I have a lot of work to do. Goodbye, sir.
Hey, cutie. I've not seen you in ages.
Berenice, what a surprise. Look, I'm in a bit of a hurry. Do you know a certain Théo Mallet?
No. But surely the owner does. You're lucky he's in right now. Your gnome knows everyone you know.
You're as charming as ever. Thank you, Berenice.
Call me baby like everybody else. Right, I've got to run too, cutie. You know, work. See you soon, okay?
Yes, anyway, you know my address. Come up and see me sometime. Ciao.
Ciao!
Come on, let's see that hot hand of yours.
Queen and her 3 sisters.
Oh no, are you doing it on purpose or what? 3 of a kind. You beat my 3 aces. Right, I've had it. I'm off.
Hulot, you're not going now, are you? Not when I was about to relieve you of your car.
Don't start, Mallet. Do not think that you can get away with things just because you have settled your bar tab. Why, it is Macpherson. Hey, Macpherson, come over here.
Macpherson? Who is that?
Another American in Paris who is broke. Let me introduce you. Macpherson, let me introduce Théo Mallet.
Hi.
Right, I will leave you two. I have work to do.
Hi.
I get the feeling I've seen you before somewhere. Have you ever been to New York? Oh, no, Mac. I'm so absent-minded sometimes. The jacket. The Orphée. You're a doorman at the Orphée.
If you are interested in the suit, I will give you a good deal. As far as I'm concerned, it is ancient history.
You didn't like your job anymore. Yet the Orphée is a prestigious hotel.
You are very nosy. Do you want my old job or something?
Maybe the hotel did not pay you enough. Or maybe you found other sources of income.
I'm the sole heir of some old fart or other. I'm taking the first train back to Brittany.
Oh, I see. You've earned enough to be able to afford a nice retirement. Pay off all your debts to the waiter at the Nantes, and make yourself scarce.
Now wait, who are you? Do you work for the cops or what? I have done nothing wrong.
I may be a friend of Hulot, but I'm also a private detective, in my spare time.
Oh goody, a private eye all to myself. And who might you be working for?
I'm not here to cause you any trouble, Mallet. I just want some information about someone I think you might know.
Really? This is a nice surprise. A private eye who needs me. What do you want to know?
A few days ago, something happened at the Orphe. Something truly awful. As you probably know, an American couple was found dead there. Murdered. I'm reliably informed you were on duty that night. You even had a drink at the cafe next door, the Nantes, with someone suspicious. Maybe even the murderer himself. Does that mean anything to you?
Find someone else. Frankly, I have nothing to say.
I have something to show you. Do you recognize this man? That's all very well, but how am I going to find that man now? He'll never come back to the Alembic.
I knew the Yanks were strange, but to talk to yourself out loud, and in French to boot?
Some are stranger than others.
See you soon.
McPherson, here again? You've got back your tit for life?
Look, I have a small problem. There's this lock I've mislaid the key to. Would you know of a way I could open it without damaging anything?
That and a few sticks of dynamite should set you up for that bank job, right? Seriously, Mac, why would I be carrying all that stuff? Do I look like a hardware store?
Come on, Ulo, don't be shy. Everyone knows that if somebody needs something, you're the man to ask. I've got contacts all over the place.
A little job. Do not worry, it is nothing risky. I know you are good at this kind of thing. This painting is a reproduction, and here is the real thing. Do you notice any differences?
Remember the guy who ran off the other night when I wanted to talk to him? Had you ever seen him in the Alembic before? That man is dangerous, Ulo. He's the prime suspect in this nasty murder business.
Should I know him? No. I do not know who it is. But he did not seem too keen on meeting you.
Unless I'm very much mistaken, Ulo. You were the last person to see Mallet before he disappeared the other night. You don't just run off like that for no reason. Believe me, Mallet has got something serious on his conscience. Maybe he's mixed up in this murder.
I will not say another word about Mallet, but I am sure of one thing. He is not a killer.
This time, Ulo, I think Mallet really has done something shady. Has he been back since that night?
McPherson, you are wasting your time with Mallet. He has not been in the Alembic since... Anyway, I already told you he's a stand-up kind of guy. He paid me what he owed, and that is all I care about.
What do you know about my investigation, Albert?
Strangely, no one has said a word. Nobody cares, except your client, I imagine. The press has hardly mentioned it. Even the police have not really investigated with much conviction.
I don't mean to go on, but it was very strange of Mallet to run off like that. It really sets you thinking. In fact, I'm thinking about talking to the police about him and his circle of friends.
The guy who ran off seemed much more guilty. Maybe it has something to do with politics. He had a foreign look about him, this chap with his mustache. Try finding him.
But that doesn't explain why Mallet ran off. There must be some reason. It can't be me, or he'd have run away as soon as I arrived.
Macpherson, leave Mallet alone. I saw his face when he ran out the back door. It was not guilt that made him run away. It was fear.
This murder has not hit the headlines. But you must know a bit more about it than you're letting on, Hulot. American tourists killed in their hotel room without so much as a clue? No papers, nothing? Have you got any leads?
All that I know comes from the papers, and that's all I want to know. As far as I am concerned, the matter is closed. Basta così.
I won't bother you any longer, Hulot. But make sure I can still reach you. I may need you sometime soon.
Goodbye, Macpherson. Be careful. Macpherson, here again. You've got back your Tate for life.
So there's the job done, quick as you like. Take your paintings back, Hulot. I've finished. Better check in case I missed out any details. I won't bother you any longer, Hulot. But make sure I can still reach you. I may need you sometime soon.
Goodbye, Macpherson. Be careful.
Great. Here is the pen pusher giving it another go.
I have some fabulous new information on the Orphée case. A portrait of the killer. Here, look.
My God. I do not believe it. Let me warn Inspector Lebrun immediately.
Do you recognize him? Wait, do you know who he is? You.
Eloin? Jacques Eloin? It's impossible.
Eloin. The name rings a bell. If only I could see that vision again. Control that vision. If only...
The inspector would like to see you immediately.
Come in, dear sir, come in. Macpherson, right? You are a journalist?
I don't have time to waste either, Inspector. I've got some news on the White case.
I am listening, Macpherson. Go on, fire away.
I have a portrait of a suspect who may very well be the guilty party.
Where is this portrait from, Macpherson?
fact, it is your mysterious visitor. He was seen by witnesses. I drew this portrait from their descriptions.
And where did you find the witnesses, McPherson?
You know as well as I do, Inspector, that just by being there, the police can scare off even the most talkative of witnesses.
What are you insinuating, McPherson? That I do not know how to do my job? Is that it? There is just one problem, huh? You are interfering with our investigation, McPherson.
Count yourself lucky that I am here to shed some light on this investigation for you.
McPherson, I have wasted enough time with your insinuations. I've had enough of your cynical attitude. Now beat it. Can't you see I'm busy? Come back later, McPherson.
Great. Here is the pen pusher giving it another go.
Beauvais, I know you recognize the man in the sketch. Who is it?
No, I do not believe it. It is my friend Eloin, Jacques Eloin. We were in the squad together. He's a detective in the 11th now. His mother is not going to like this. Shit. It's not possible. No. Something is not right. It would be better if you spoke to Inspector Lebrun directly. I will show you in immediately. I do not want to be mixed up in all this. No thanks. It's not for me. Way too complicated.
Can't you see I'm busy? Come back later, McPherson.
But who are you? What do you want?
I am a friend who has your son's best interests at heart, madame.
Liar! I do not believe you. Jacques is not a criminal. Get out! He's not here! Scram!
I'm looking for Eloin. I need to talk to him.
My son has disappeared. I don't know where he is. He's a good boy, you know. He would not hurt a fly.
Any idea where he may be hiding?
Hiding? I swear he's not here. Why would he hide? I've not seen him for several days. I have no idea where he is.
You're lying, Madame Eloin. Tell me where I can find your son. I mean him no harm. On the contrary, I need to talk to him.
You do not want to harm him. Can I trust you? Please understand, Eloy has not done anything. He's afraid, that's all. He's not hiding, but he needs help. My son is up there. Follow me. Upstairs. Just go on up.
Right. Jacques Eloy, I'm arresting you for the murder of Regis and Ruby White.
I'm innocent. I may have led the murderer to the Eatons, but I did not kill them.
The Eatons? What are you talking about?
It's a long story, but this is what happened. It was after a rather tiresome case. A story of adultery that ended badly. The husband had hired me because his wife had supposedly run off with the money. She told quite another story, of course. I will spare you the details. I came home shattered. During my absence, a certain De Alpin had come by about some employees who had swindled him. I knew that De Alpin was a banker and that there would be plenty of money in it, but I was dead on my feet. So I told my mother to call him back and tell him to get lost. That's when she showed me the check. So, off I went again.
Those dirty kids, they roll around in the mud all day. And who scrubs? Old Muggins here. Little rascals, wait till I catch you! Hey, not my flowers, my beautiful flowers! Wait! They're gonna see what I'm made of.
Yeah. Oh dear, what a mess. Mrs. Evelyn, you've got some cleaning to do.
You were not announced, sir. I wasn't expecting you. How can I help you?
Hello, Doctor. Jacques Eloin, private detective. Sorry, I am out of business cards. You'll have to take my word for it. That way we'll both be in the same boat.
A private eye. I am sure you are well aware I am not at liberty to discuss one of my patients. Doctor-patient confidentiality.
That's what's so frustrating about doctors. As soon as you walk in the room, they have guessed the reason for your visit.
My job is to discover intention.
I found your business card at the home of someone who's not so innocent.
I have no control over who has one of my calling cards, Mr. Eloin. The proof? You yourself have one. And yet, I never gave it to you.
You do not happen to have a patient by the name of Gracie Eaton, Dr. Kaufner?
Gracie Eaton? Of course, Mr. Eloin. What do you want to know about Gracie Eaton?
Gracie Eaton is a little crazy, isn't she? You do treat the mentally ill, don't you?
Not all of my patients are ready for a straitjacket, Mr. Eloin. On the contrary, I care for all those with tormented souls. It's called therapy. One could classify Miss Eaton in this category.
Since you're friends with my client, could you tell me what was going on between him and Gracie Eaton?
These details concern Mr. de Alpin alone. You worry about finding the Eatons and ignore the distractions you find along the way, Mr. Eloin. It is for the best.
You know why I've been hired, and I won't hide the fact that I do not have any hard facts on the theft. Is there anything you can tell me?
You know enough to complete your investigation, Mr. Eloin. Listen, old chap. If you want to know where the Eatons are hiding, you have come to the wrong place. Yes, I introduced Gracie Eaton to the companions. Yes, she knew the Alpin. But as to how intimate they were, that is their business. All I can tell you is that if I knew where she and her brother were, you would not be here. So, do the job you are being paid to do, Mr. Eloin. Find the thieves, and let us get on with the rest. We each have our own role, do we not? You do not seem to understand, Mr. Eloin. Your presence here is not welcome. I demand you leave my office.
And the time he dressed up as an angel, and he did not have a string on his bow. Berenice.
Oh, sorry. Jacques Eloin. Perhaps you could help me.
Why not? Would you like a drink? Come on, don't be silly. I'm a modern girl. Come, have a seat. You've never been here. I would remember your face. I'm curious to know what brings you here.
Today must be my lucky day. In my job, I usually deal with punks, not cute dolls like you. I'm a detective. You happen to know a certain Paul Eaton?
The American? Paul Eaton? Yes, I know him. He's been filling our heads with his stories for the past month. He and the owner are mates.
The owner, Hulot, he's also your friend. Would you be kind enough to introduce us?
The owner's not here. He's just driven off. Actually, I think he had a rendezvous with Eaton.
Berenice. Pretty name. Your knight in shining armor left you alone in such a place? That's hardly wise.
I'm old enough to look after myself, but thanks for the thought.
What about Paul? Does he come here often? You know, if he starts bugging you, it will give me more reasons to nail him.
You know, Jacques, that Eaton smells like trouble. One day, he turns up from God knows where with his little British accent. After a few drink sessions with Hulot, the owner, he loses his accent. After that, he shows up here practically every day, more American than ever. Then wham! No more news.
Well, that's a shame. I was really hoping to find him here. To be honest, I went to his place before coming to the Alambic and like magic they disappeared. So I thought you might be able to help me.
We do not really know what Eaton is doing in Paris. In the beginning, he said he was with his sister, a student. After a few binges, his sister had become his wife, and they were both onto the scam of the century.
Interesting story about Eaton. Is he onto something big? Did he give you any details? Mind you, with guys like him, you never know what to believe.
I'm fond of you, Snoop. You know how to go about things. I'm going to help you. Paul Eaton was in Paris for a contract. A scam that would make him rich. His wife was his accomplice. Then he got the jitters. He is hiding now. Hulot, the owner, definitely knows more. You'll have to see him about that. Only thing is, he's not too fond of private snoops.
Damn it, this is too much. I'm always one step behind. This time, I'll catch them before they slip away again.
It is simple, Jacques. The owner went dashing off. He mentioned a restaurant, getting back late. How would I know?
A restaurant. How fitting. I was planning on inviting you. A restaurant in Paris. It's like looking for a needle in the haystack. Any idea which one?
And why would I know? Eaton talked about going out to a chic restaurant with his wife, but he did not even know which one. It was Hulot who scribbled down the address before leaving.
Charming. Berenice, I can feel that, like me, you're dying to know where Paul Eaton and his wife are. What was Paul planning to do after his job? Any ideas?
The owner, Hulot, knows a thing or two. Paul only spoke English, and he never mentioned any names. He could not have known much. It's not because you drink like a fish that you know more. It was his other half who pulled the strings.
Berenice, do you believe this bank heist story? Eaton must surely have been planning something. He could not have just given up like a complete idiot. It must be a diversion. It smacks of a wild goose chase.
Charming and smart, that P.I. Only he has it wrong. It was not the banker's money the Eatons were after. It was a treasure he had hidden in his place. The woman took care of seducing him. Paul was there to pick the fruit when it was ripe. He was completely manipulated, that poor Paul.
That's all you know, is it? In any case, someone as charming as you is always beyond suspicion.
Ciao, Snoop. Good luck.
Look, a notepad. The first page seems to have been ripped out in a hurry.
Good evening, sir. Are you expected?
My name is Edouard. I've come to see the master of the house. Would you introduce me, please?
Sorry, sir. My master cannot see you.
Right. Are you in charge here? Do you mind, as a pure formality, if I ask you one or two questions? Is this the lodge of the Brotherhood of the Supreme Order of the Rosy Cross?
Sorry, sir. I cannot answer your questions.
As a doorman, you're in a position to know all the members of the club. K and GDA are both members, are they not?
All information about our members is confidential, sir. I am sorry.
I apologize. Your honorable members are naturally not under any suspicion. In fact, I'm seeking information about a young woman, Gracie Eaton. Or maybe you've seen her brother, Paul Eaton. A big, strong fellow. They've been here.
Sir is insistent. It would, however, be preferable if you withdrew.
Come on, buddy. I'm not asking for much, just for you to think back a little. Grégoire de Alpin is a member of your little family, is he not?
Our brotherhood is private, sir. You must leave the premises, otherwise I shall be forced to call the authorities.
Mr. Dumoulin, I respect your position and the necessity of discretion. However, Mr. de Alpin and Gracie Eaton saw each other more often than they let on. They even had a favorite restaurant they went to. Can you give me the name?
It would be preferable if you asked Mr. de Alpin that in person, when he is available.
Mr. Dumoulin, time's of the essence. The integrity of your brotherhood is at stake. I must find the Eatons before there's a scandal.
It is a famous restaurant, chez Alexandre, in the 8th district. Is there a menace looming? I'm sorry, sir. Even if I really wanted to, I am not allowed to divulge any information. You are persistent. I have told you repeatedly that you were not welcome.
Hulot is implicated in this affair? But how?
Who knows? He's a fence, is he not?
I brought you a little snack.
Thank you. I'll just put it there. We'll help ourselves. Okay, where was I? Oh, yes, the restaurant.
Good evening, sir. Welcome to Chez Alexandre. Do you have a reservation?
Jacques Edouard, private detective. I'm looking for 2 crooks. Can you tell me if you have any clients by the name of Eaton? Be discreet. They're dangerous.
I do not see any reservation under that name. Maybe they have reserved a table in another establishment.
Oh, come on, try a little. Another guy may have joined them. A certain Hulot.
You should have said so. Of course I remember them. They had quite a scene during the meal, arguing non-stop. In the end, the men turned up and they all left in a car. But you're mistaken about the name. It was White, not Eaton. Of that, I'm sure.
Well, if that's all you have, the Whites will have to do. Do you know where I can find them? I hope they're not too far away. This is becoming quite urgent.
Are you sure these are the Americans you're looking for? You know, Paris is crawling with Americans. If it's of any help to you, I remember this particular couple put their bill onto an account at the Hotel Orphée in the 8th district. An establishment undoubtedly all too respectable for them. I seem to remember that the lady has already been here with Mr. de Alpin. Sometimes appearances can be misleading, you know? Like the gentleman who joined them. Well-dressed, a beautiful car, very, very high class. But he could have been a hoodlum too, for all I know. It's hard to know who you can trust.
Good evening, sir. Welcome to the Hotel Orphée. How may I help you?
White. I've come to see the Whites. Which room might I find them in?
We do not give out such information, sir. Not without the prior agreement of our clients.
Come on, pal. Be a sport. I can pay.
Sir, you shall obtain nothing from me with money.
You don't know what you're missing. Crisp bills straight from the bank.
That will not work with me, sir. You are not in the slums here. Keep your money. Book yourself some lessons in proper manners, if it's not too late.
You're not the first guard dog I have encountered, but you're certainly the toughest. I'll let you think about it. Do not worry, though. I'll be back soon.
It is better that way, sir.
Okay, what do I do now? Now what?
If you want any leads about the Whites, wait for me at the Nazi. I will give you some.
This case is really beginning to get on my nerves.
Sit down. What do you want with the Whites?
You look like someone who might be able to slip me some info about the Whites.
We will see. How much will you pay?
That's what I like. Helpful men like you. But careful. You'll not get your dough until I have checked out the info.
I know how much info is worth even to a private dick that is flat broke. Not that it will take a lot to make me happy. You do not become rich by being a hotel doorman.
How long have they been at the hotel?
They've only been in the hotel for 3 days. Since they never leave their room, it does not take much to figure out what they are up to in there. No, they have never set foot here before.
The Whites. Do you know who I'm talking about? Well, they're a couple. What's Mrs. White like? Is she hot?
Yes, a tall guy and a beautiful dame, both of them Americans. They are definitely a couple, slept in the same bed, bathed in the same tub.
Huh. Never a dull moment, those Whites. Always leading the good life. That being said, I do not envy them. Cash can go to your head sometimes.
You can tell right away the Whites are not very classy people. No manners. They think they can get away with murder.
Have the Whites had any visitors since their arrival?
Solitary types. If you ask me, they are not tourists. They hardly ever came out of their hole. They put everything on the hotel bill. Meals, clothes, alcohol. The room has been booked for a good month. The man went out a couple of times at night.
Will you give me their room number? I'm gonna pay them a little visit.
Room 507, but you are out of luck. They are not there. Must have kissed and made up. The dame has dyed her hair red. Look, I've got other things to do, you know. It's not like your money is going to a life of leisure. You ought to hire a private eye.
Mr. Delba, our birds have returned. Even so, I would like to take a quick look. Room 507. Just a quick look. That's when I saw the most amazing thing in my life. I do not know if it was the smoke that blurred my vision, but one thing is for sure. That creature was not trying to keep them warm. And the damn creature saw me. I have fought in the war, you know, but I've never seen the likes of that. When its eyes stared at me, I ran. Yes, I fled like a little kid. There must have been something in the air because I fainted right after that. I came around later, near the Alambic. That's where you saw me. Mom? Is that you?
Ah, no. Jacques Alouin. I'm arresting you for the double murder of the Whites.
Believe me, I'm not the culprit. Speak to my mother. She'll give you the proof.
Well, thank you for your help.
What?
Yes, I had you followed, and you led us straight to the culprit.
No. Something is off. I've been tricked like a sucker. But by who?
Hello, what number can I dial for you?
I'm sorry to disturb you, miss. Can you connect me to the post office, please? I'd like to send a telegram.
Right away, sir.
Post a telegraph, go ahead, please.
I'd like to send a telegram to New York, please. The addressee is one J. Wells of Pinkerton's National Detective Agency, number 57 Broadway. The message reads, "Need information on woman named Sophia Blake. Stop."
I've made a note of it. It will leave this morning. Done.
Hello, what number can I dial for you?
I'm sorry to disturb you, miss. Can you connect me to the Elysee, 1528? I want to speak to Sophia Blake.
Right away, sir. Sophia Blake.
Miss Blake, this is Gus McPherson. Can we meet? I'd like to clarify a few points with you.
Meet me in an hour at the restaurant Chez Alexandre. We can talk there.
Good evening, sir. Welcome to Chez Alexandre. Can I do anything for you, sir?
A table has been booked under the name of Blake, Sophia Blake. I'm here to meet up with the lady. My name is Gus McPherson.
This way, please, sir. Miss Blake is waiting for you.
If you want to see me, Mr. McPherson, I imagine it's because you've made some headway.
Actually, several new occurrences have come to light. Occurrences that require an explanation from you, Miss Blake.
I don't understand, Mr. McPherson. What do you mean?
What I have learned totally contradicts what you said about the Whites. Who were they really?
Ruby White was my younger sister, and Regis White was her husband. I already told you, Mr. McPherson.
There's one small detail in all this that you failed to mention. The head of Baphomet. Does that mean anything to you, Miss Blake?
I don't know what you're talking about, Mr. McPherson. Should I?
I do not like to be taken for a fool, Miss Blake.
All right. I admit that I wasn't totally honest with you. What do you want to know?
Ruby and Regis White never existed. Not as you described them anyway. Who were they really?
I don't have a sister, Mr. McPherson. Ruby White's real name was Faye Johnson, and Jerome Johnson was her real husband. I hired them, a terrible mistake on my part, but I'm not responsible for their death.
Who, in your opinion, killed the Whites?
The Whites were criminals, Mr. McPherson. They made a foolish mistake. They're dead. Aside from their own carelessness, it can only be because of the man who was behind all of this, Grégoire de Alpin.
In the course of my investigations, I was told about a much coveted object, the head of Baphomet. Does that mean anything to you?
The object has been in my husband's family for generations, Mr. McPherson. I didn't lie to you. Grégoire de Alpin stole it from us. My husband, already weak from his illness, died of sorrow. I now want to retrieve what is rightfully mine and avenge the memory of the man I loved.
Then you recognize the existence of this man, Grégoire d'Alpin. Who is he really?
A madman, blinded by an obsession to possess a supposedly valuable relic. The head of Baphomet. By stealing it, he destroyed my life. D'Alpin led my husband to his death, my family to ruin.
What were they doing in Paris? I want the truth, Miss Blake.
They were supposed to retrieve the object that was stolen from me. Everything was planned in minute detail. They failed. Their death is a regrettable accident.
Why so many identities?
They were professional con artists, Mr. McPherson. As soon as they occupied their room at the Hotel Orphée, they became the Whites, a rich couple on vacation. It was also the signal that they had pulled it off. I was supposed to take delivery of the merchandise. Unfortunately, they were killed in the meantime.
Go and tell the police what you've told me. Inspector Lebrun will be glad to help you. He'll understand, I'm sure.
You still haven't understood. The police do not want a part of this. Duelpin has the Paris police in his pocket, Mr. McPherson. Paris is just a puppet on his string.
Do you think the killer will strike again?
He would do anything to achieve his aim, Mr. McPherson. Everyone who has crossed his path is in danger. The man is insane. He'll kill again. You must understand that you are the only one who can stop him. We have to put an end to this madness. The object must be found before other heads roll.
What exactly is the importance of this object, this head of Baphomet? And why is D'Alpin so anxious to get hold of it?
I don't really know. My husband was very secretive about the value of the head of Baphomet. As for me, I simply want to retrieve what is rightfully mine. But Duelpin and his lot venerate the relic, surrounded with many legends. Legends of immortality. As you grow old, these legends suddenly become a source of hope, a source of life and death.
That is a tragic story, Miss Blake. Why didn't you tell me the truth from the outset?
I was alone in Paris, confronted by a fearless enemy. I had to act quickly and discreetly. If you had refused to help me, Mr. McPherson, I would have had no one else. I didn't want to be dishonest with you.
I agreed to work for you. I'll see the job through.
You see, we can reach an agreement, Mr. McPherson. Shouldn't you be investigating the case, Mr. McPherson?
Good evening, sir. Welcome to the Hotel Orphée. My name is Isidore Petit. What can I do for you?
When the Whites returned on the night of their death, did you notice if a car dropped them off? A smart car. I don't remember the make.
Who knows? I was here at the desk. Mallet was taking care of the door. Actually, he saw to all the doors. He was a doorman. One good reason why all the locks throughout the establishment ought to be changed. Mallet is no longer with us, and nobody knows what he has done with the master key. Good. Well, if it's all right with you, I have a lot of work to do. Goodbye, sir.
Sir?
The man you identified is called Helouin. Jacques Helouin. Can you confirm your statement?
Helouin? That's a funny name. And a private eye to boot. Now, I'm surprised. Quite a turnaround, isn't it? That is definitely why he came in here, no mistake. As for what happened to him afterwards, I have no way of knowing.
Did Mallet join him, or was it the other way around?
Yes, I remember now. He and Mallet had a quick chat, and it was definitely Mallet who met up with him. The man arrived a few moments before Mallet did.
What do you remember of their conversation?
I didn't hear anything. They spoke in low voices as if they were planning something. As for anything changing hands, I maintain that your man, Helouin, didn't get a thing. He's the one who gave money to Mallet.
Mallet is dead.
Mallet is dead? That's awful. It's starting to be an epidemic. I can kiss the money the little scoundrel owed me goodbye. Never mind. May he rest in peace.
Did he owe you money?
Mallet has always been in debt. On the night of the murder, he slipped off without coming to see me. If he had any money on him, he hung on to it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
is still in the lock on the other side. If I could push it out, maybe I could use it on this side. There, a scandal rag beneath the door. There we go. It's an engagement ring. How romantic. The engraving inside says, "To Faye with love." Who's Faye? Whew. Smells like ether, only stronger. My head is spinning. Looks like black hair dye.
You are the detective, are you not?
With the arrest of Helouin, this case has taken a different turn, and I'm the only one who can save him from the guillotine. I have to shed light on 2 investigations at the same time.
It is time to decide who you trust, Mr. McPherson. I'm as eager as you to see the end of this nightmare.
You associate with the Parisian upper crust, Mrs. Loiseau. Can you tell me about Grégoire d'Alpin?
Grégoire de Alpin is an extremely rich banker in Paris, the heir of an old family.
You're telling me stuff that everybody knows, Mrs. Loiseau. Give me something paranormal, something occult.
De Alpin is a powerful man. He works in the shadows, fascinated by the Middle Ages. He is the founder of the Brotherhood of the Supreme Order of the Rosy Cross. Will that be enough, Mr. McPherson?
You probably know the Brotherhood of the Supreme Order of the Rosy Cross.
An occult brotherhood. Beware. Its members are highly influential in every sector of Parisian life. That is what makes them so dangerous. Contrary to what they'd have you believe, their occult knowledge is rather limited.
So none of its members can aspire to true illumination, such as you attained, Mr. Loiseau.
A brotherhood of puppets, manipulated by their supreme brother.
Does this Supreme Brother have such an influence over the members as to endanger my investigations?
I fear that his influence is becoming harmful. It is rumored that the Supreme Brother can comfortably manipulate everyone up to and including the Chief of Police himself.
Lurking in the shadows from the beginning of my investigation. Grégoire d'Alpin is the Supreme Brother. I'm right, am I not?
For a very long time, Grégoire de Alpin was the Supreme Brother, Mr. McPherson. But he has now given way to another.
The job is open. The time is ripe to propose you as successor.
The hair took his place. Kay is the new Supreme Brother. And Kay is Dr. Frank Goffner, Mr. McPherson.
Mrs. Loiseau, you must know Dr. Kaufner. He's a psychoanalyst. For all I know, you're even one of his patients.
Dr. Frank Goffner. Are you interested in psychoanalysis in particular, or just in the part it played in the White's case? He is also an influential member of the Brotherhood of the Supreme Order of the Rosy Cross. Did you know that?
I can see you knew him well. Do you know where I might meet him? Maybe he would pay you a visit.
At his cabinet, or else directly at the Brotherhood's headquarters. I imagine you know where that is?
None of this rhetoric will get us anywhere, Mrs. Loiseau. I have to act. If I need any advice from you, I'll know where to find you.
Our paths will cross again. I'm sure of it.
The right key. Pandora's secrets are all mine. must get past these alleys. If anyone lays their hands on me, I certainly don't want to find myself in a cell. The egg, symbol of immortality, according to Mrs. Loiseau. Strange, I don't remember Helwine mentioning it. the secret of the soul. A wax cylinder with the cycle of the phoenix by F. Kaufner written on it. All we need now is a phonograph.
Back later. I need to rest.
Did I realize how great an impact dealing with this man would have on me? On my career, on my own destiny. His soul has passed from body to body down through the centuries. The cycle of the phoenix. He is the phoenix, risen from the ashes. He has confided in me the secret of his power, of his riches, the head of Baphomet. I am very familiar with the myth. The Companion's library featured more than one legend on the subject. Grégoire d'Alpin claims to have been in possession of the head since the Middle Ages. He acquired it on behalf of the Knights Templar and kept it after their dissolution. They dare to call my manifesto a scientific fairy tale. They think they're the leading experts in psychoanalysis. Vienna. I will prove my theory to them. I will prove that Grégoire d'Alpin is immortal. Slowly but surely, my role in d'Alpin's existence has grown in importance. Using hypnosis, I have managed to impose my will upon him, all the while espousing his ambitions. I shall be his successor as the head of the Companions. His power, his riches, the Baphomet, it will all be mine. I shall be his heir. The time has come. This evening, d'Alpin wishes to see me at his manor. Gracie Eaton, his Adeline, will be there. Tonight, I shall become the greatest. Neither Vienna nor d'Alpin can stop me now. The old fool is convinced that I'm ready to receive his soul. Ready to receive his riches, more like. And the influence that comes with them. Then Vienna shall pay for its insolence.
For ages, then turn up without warning. You must be after something.
Berenice, you're my little green fairy. With everything we've been through together, I know you'll always be here for me. You're the only person trust. So,
Still the same sense of humor. I see the Parisian air inspires you.
no, seriously. You're really the only person I can trust. I have one or two questions that I need you to answer.
Mac, you know full well I would not refuse you anything. Ask, I'll find you the answer.
Berenice, I'm just asking you to be careful. This business is complicated and more dangerous than it seems. Anyway, I'm off. See you soon.
Ciao, Mac. Take care. Mac, I'm gonna start thinking you can't do without me. Did I forget something at your place?
Baby, those beautiful eyes of yours surely saw a beautiful stranger. Especially an American. Do you remember a guy at the Alembic going by the name of Paul Eaton?
It's funny you mention it. Another detective came and asked me the same thing a few days ago. Good-looking bloke, that PI. Nice mustache. Yes, I remember Eaton. He was hanging out with the Alembic crowd last month.
Berenice, do you remember the other night before you came round to my place? I had some complications. That guy who got away from me. Well, I caught up with him, but I need to know if you have seen him here before. Eloin. Jacques Eloin.
Yes, well, I think it was the same. He came asking questions a few days ago. I don't know.
Berenice, I think I'd better warn you. This Paul Eaton is mixed up in some dirty business. I just hope the boss, Albert, did not trust Eaton too much.
Paul and old man Hulot? Of course they know each other. They even got really chummy.
Berenice, it's vital you tell me everything you know about Paul Eaton. And I warn you, everything he has told you is probably lies. I think his name is also a fake.
He was not very chatty, Polly boy. I must say, he did not speak French very well. All I got was that he was in Paris with his sister, who I never saw. He hinted once or twice that they were onto something big. Loads of cash, easy work. You know, Mac, now that I think of it, Paul Eaton was definitely the dodgy type.
Hulot, the boss? Is he there? Maybe he noticed some things that you missed, baby. You know, you might have been too busy staring at that tall, dark American to notice anything peculiar about him.
Albert is not here. I was supposed to meet him here this morning, but he's not come by today. You know, Mac, Albert Hulot has not changed. He is as weird as ever. If I see him, I will tell him you're looking for him.
Have you seen anything of Paul Eaton since?
No point getting all jealous, Mac. You're the only American in my heart. I've not seen Eaton here again. And as for Albert, the owner, I have no idea. I suspect Paul pulled off the scam of the century and fled to Borneo.
Berenice, I'm just asking you to be careful. This business is complicated and more dangerous than it seems. Anyway, I'm off. See you soon.
Ciao, Mac. Take care. Mac, I'm gonna start thinking you can't do without me. Did I forget something at your place?
Berenice, I'm just asking you to be careful. This business is complicated and more dangerous than it seems. Anyway, I'm off. See you soon.
Ciao, Mac. Take care.
Strange front door. An improved version of all the other locks I've come across so far. strange front door. An improved version of all the other locks I've come across so far. Strange front door. An improved version of all the other locks I've come across so far.
If I can be of any assistance, sir?
Yes,
Visitors are not admitted, sir. Would you kindly leave?
You are mistaken. I'm not just any old visitor. I've come to make inquiries. Inquiries about the occult.
Visitors are not admitted, sir. Would you kindly leave?
The knowledge stored here would be impossible to find anywhere else. Even the Sorbonne is but a pale shadow of your great learning.
Our library contains knowledge and secrets that cannot even be found at the Sorbonne. The Brotherhood of the Supreme Order of the Rosy Cross are the most erudite people in the Western world.
Does your sealed-off library include books on magic, Kabbalah, divination, tarot, lost civilizations, Mu, Hyperborea, Atlantis, the Holy Grail, and alchemy?
Sir, one must not joke with the occult arts. Alchemy, the great work.
How does one attain this great work? Must one first become a supreme brother before contemplating all of its power? Like your SBGDA? Your alchemist?
The great Ouroboros has spoken, sir. GDA is no more. The SBK is our supreme leader now.
You mean to say D'Alpin is no longer your supreme brother? Had his term of office ended, or was he deposed?
We are not in the Middle Ages now, sir. It is simply an inheritance by due succession.
What does the future hold for a former SB once he has stood down? What became of GDA?
GDA is the supreme light. His wisdom becomes accessible to all consciences. The great work has been done.
Could you be more explicit, Mr. Dumoulin? If what you say regarding your GDA means that he is no longer among us, that he is dead, then, my friend, you will have the courts to answer to.
Glory to the SBK.
You seem to know a little too much, Dumoulin. Be careful with your threats. I'm not here to bother you. I already have a suspect for these crimes. But from what you have told me, I could easily have you charged with being an accessory. At the very worst, you might be sent to the nut house.
What would the police do, eh? What would it gain? They will have to wait a long time for an order from the police chief. Leave before things get worse for you. As I have already told you several times, sir, you cannot obtain any information here. As the doorman, I'm responsible for the security of the premises.
Do without me. Did I forget something at your place?
Berenice, I'm just asking you to be careful. This business is complicated and more dangerous than it seems. Anyway, I'm off. See you soon.
Ciao, Mac. Take care.
Mac, I'm gonna start thinking you can't do without me. Did I forget something at your place?
I need a small favor. I have to infiltrate the Brotherhood, and I need a fake letter of introduction. Can you write me one using these documents?
No problem. Come by later, your letter will be ready. Mac, I'm gonna start thinking you can't do without me. Did I forget something at your place?
Bebe, I need a small favor. I have to infiltrate the Brotherhood, and I need a fake letter of introduction. Can you write me one using this letter?
Again? Right. Come and see me later, your letter will be ready. gonna start thinking you can't do without me. Did I forget something at your place?
Bebe, I need the letter of introduction. Is it finished?
Here it is.
As I have already told you several times, sir, you cannot obtain any information here. As the doorman, I'm responsible for the security of the premises. As I have already told you several times, sir, you cannot obtain any information here. As the doorman, I'm responsible for the security of the premises. As I have already told you several times, sir, you cannot obtain any information here. As the doorman, I'm responsible for the security of the premises.
Mac, I'm gonna start thinking you can't do without me. Did I forget something at your place?
Bebe, I need the letter of introduction. Is it finished?
Here it is. Mac, I'm gonna start thinking you can't do without me. Did I forget something at your place?
Berenice, I'm just asking you to be careful. This business is complicated, more dangerous than it seems. Anyway, I'm off. See you soon.
Ciao, Mac. Take care.
I see. The orders rooms are at your disposal.
languages people no longer speak, myself included. These books are in Greek, Latin, other languages people no longer speak, myself included. A real alchemy kit. All these flasks contain powders. What on earth earth does he do with them all?
But he couldn't stop me from joining the Templars. I have to try to cleanse myself of their sin of the flesh. Because of him and my mother, my soul may already be condemned to hell. Only the balm of the Templars' faith can rid it of the mortal sin engraved upon it. on October 9th, Saint Denis Day, I finally discovered the traces of the head. Blessed by Saint Denis, he who smiles down on me in all his beatitude to help me leave my soul. Yes, Saint Denis is smiling on me. The head purifies me. As God is my witness, I, Simon le Bel, in this year of our Lord, 1305, shall enter the body of Pierre le Bel de Clemency tomorrow, June 24th, and shall retrieve what is mine by divine right. In this new body, purified of my soul and of my parents' carnal sin, death will no longer hold any mystery for me. The head of Baphomet has finally revealed all of its secrets. Victory! I would shout this divine miracle from the rooftops if I did not fear the unbelievers and their stake. I am in a new, younger, stronger body, and it is God's will. How else can I explain Adeline's appearance at my bedside? Blessed and cursed. God gave me a new body, but Adeline, my angel, who took care of this new body, is forbidden to me. It would seem she is the daughter of that idiot, Pierre. That's to say, my own daughter at present. I am weary of this existence. What is the point of living for centuries if I can never again glimpse the smile of my beloved Adeline? Ah, Adeline, you who are forbidden to me, will I ever see your sweet face again? I would gladly exchange these solitary centuries to see your face, your eyes, once more. She has returned. She is once more of this world, and so close to me. She visited Kaufner today. It really was her. That excellent doctor of the mind confirmed it. It is her, and this time she will be mine for the rest of my life.
Well, Miss Blake, it would seem you did not tell me everything. Right, that's all I needed. Blake's been abducted and the kidnapper takes himself for a Dialpe. And naturally he wants the head in exchange. As if I knew where it was.
McPherson. Max, something awful's happened. Your Lou is dead. He's been murdered.
Hulot dead. And the soul of the Alembic gone with him. We've all lost a great friend, Berenice. Keep your chin up, baby. Don't let them get you down. There's still the Alembic.
Hulot started from nothing. He worked as a construction worker on the metro before becoming a very important patron of the arts. You know, a big shot.
Hulot never did anything for nothing. If he did you a favor, you knew you would have to pay him back one way or another. He was a man of many resources. Money, tip-offs, favors. He always knew where to get them.
Mac, all of that was Hulot, a real hub of the Parisian art scene. The paint never dried under his feet. There was something to suit everybody's taste.
But Berenice, doing those little favors could have sometimes made crooks out of us. Everyone knew Albert was a fence.
Hulot saw himself as the Robin Hood of the art world. He got money out of the rich for the art of the poor. He may have been a fence, but he had ideas.
Berenice, relationships like that only bring trouble, either with fences or with the police.
Of course, Mac. I worked for Hulot. We all have to live, you know. And sculpture doesn't exactly pay a girl's rent.
You say you've copied works of art for Hulot? Has he commissioned any work recently?
Strangely enough, yes. The day you came to the Olympic, the first time, I gave him a copy of a grotesque bust.
My God. Berenice, the bust. The bust you sculpted for Hulot. Did it look like what you see in the sketch?
It is exactly the same. Hulot asked me to make a copy. I gave it to him the night you came. Mac, I'm scared. What is going on?
It's awful. I have to find this head before there are any more deaths. Even your life is at risk, Berenice. The killer is after this head. Don't you see, baby? I have to find out how Hulot got his hands on this accursed object.
I have no idea who gave the head to Hulot. I made a copy, that's all.
I'm not sure I've grasped the magnitude of this business. But one thing's for sure. You are not safe, Berenice. Be careful. I'll do everything in my power to put a stop to these crimes. Everything.
Find the killer for me, Mac. I will manage on my own. Mac, I don't know what to think anymore, Mac.
My God, Berenice. Why him? Why Hulot? When did this happen? And you, baby, are you okay?
The cops discovered his body at sunrise, but he may have been dead for a couple of days. I have no idea. No idea.
It's awful. Hulot was not supposed to die. He could not die. He was the last person to see the whites alive. The police. Did the police tell you how it happened?
I don't know how to describe it. It is so sordid. His head, Mac, his head was cut off. His body was hanging on the front of the car. And his head was sitting on the hood like a figurehead. Worst of all, in his mouth. The police found a coin in his mouth.
Berenice, Hulot is dead. We have to be careful, too. Was it the police who told you? They have a suspect. They're already holding Eloane.
The pigs? They're all the same. The investigation is taking its course, miss. Like hell. Everything I know I got from my contacts.
Berenice, we have to get to the bottom of this before everyone else dies. Do you know who is heading the inquiry?
Inspector Lebrun, always spotless, the perfect bourgeois. They're putting on an act in an attempt to hoodwink us. In fact, Mac, they haven't got anything to go on. Hulot, you, me, Eloane, for them we're all nobodies. It's up to us to unravel this.
I feel as bad as you do, Berenice. Anyone who comes to the Olympic will be grieving. The place will be a shrine to him. Everyone who comes in will be reminded of Albert Hulot. So many stories.
You know how much Hulot loved his entourage. Everybody had a chance. The Alembic was his masterpiece. Take this fresco, for example. You know how many artists contributed? Hulot would ask them to paint a bit, sometimes just a brush stroke. Over the years, it became his treasure.
It's true. That fresco is rather special. Did he tell you what it is meant to represent?